welcome back. Let's learn about making Zentangle illustrations. What you need to do first is, if you don't have Illustrator open, go ahead and open up Illustrator. Then we're going to create a new Illustrator document. And we're going to come under Art and Illustration. And it doesn't matter which one you pick because we're going to manually change the settings over here. So we're going to go to Inches. And we're going to make the width 12 and the height 18 inches. 12 by 18. And we want to call it Zentangle. Actually, you want to name it your period number underscore last name first initial and then the name of the project, which is Zentangle. So your period, so P1 if you're in first period, underscore last name first initial underscore the name of the project, Zentangle, inches 12 inches by 18 inches, and click create. I'm going to hit Command 0 to center that full screen for me. And I want to make sure that I save my project. So I'm going to save as. And I'm going to hit this big box so I can see it. You want to go to your Google Drive for your class and create a new folder called Zentangle Illustration. I'm just going to save mine to my tutorials folder for now. So assume that this is your Google Drive folder, and then you do a new folder and you would call it the name of the project, so Zentangle Illustration, and create and save. So a folder for each project. Now let's get rid of all of these swatches we don't need. So we're going to come up to the panel options for swatch, and we're going to pick select all unused and trash them. And click yes. Then we're going to come up to our swatch libraries menu. And under user defined is going to be your Zentangle swatches, as long as you save them properly in the last mission. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see my Zentangle swatches. Don't need that one. This is the one I have. Now you can leave it here free floating, right? You can drag it up there. Another tip that might work nicely is I'm actually going to click on each one. And what you can see happens after you do that, and then I can close this, is now it's added them to this main swatches library. And I'm going to hit D for default so that my swatches go back to white and black for now. Okay, so what do we have? We have our file name saved. We've brought in our swatches. Next thing we need to do is rename our layer, layer 1. We're going to double click on it and rename that, maybe not template, maybe reference. Reference. Now I'm going to switch over to Safari. And what you need to do is you're going to illustrate an animal. Any animal you want. I don't really care. So you're going to illustrate an animal. But to make this a little bit easier, because it's early in the semester, we're going to trace already existing line art instead of tracing an actual animal. We'll do some tracing of pictures later, but just to make this easier, line art. So I'm going to try an elephant. I'm going to do elephant line art. And then elephant line art images. I'll pick that. I probably don't even need images. Let me get rid of images. Just make sure it says elephant line art, and I'm looking under Google Images. And then I'm going to pick an elephant that's fairly simple, because we're going to fill him in and kick him up and stuff like that. I want, some kind of a side profile. So this guy maybe. And I don't want you to pick an elephant. I'm doing an elephant. I'm just going to grab him. I'm going to right click and open image, a new tab. I want you to find your own animal. I'm just showing you my process, okay? Now I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit so I can see my artboard, and I'm going to drag my guy on there like that and put him somewhere around the center. Might move him later when we finalize the project, but for now, somewhere on the artboard, something like that. I don't want this to ever move because I'm going to trace it. So I'm going to click lock. I have locked my reference layer. Now you can see I can't do anything to it because I don't want to. I'm going to trace it. I'm going to create a new layer. Layer 2, I'm going to double click and call that line art. Okay, so we have a reference layer and then a new layer called line art. And that gets us started to be able to trace, which we'll look at in the next tutorial.